This past weekend, we played our second Relay Cup match against How Did We Get Here, and won, moving us on to the quarterfinals. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can watch my video on our first match by clicking in the top right. That's your cue to watch the video. Okay, but if you can't for some reason, then here's a brief explanation. There are 3 runners per team, and with Minecraft speedrunning, there's 3 different major versions to play. So naturally, each team member chooses a version to run during a race. But they can only start after the previous runner starts, hence the name of the tournament, the Minecraft Relay Cup. Our opponents, How Did We Get Here, had won their previous match with a time of 1 hour 32 minutes, which is not particularly a good time, but bad luck can plague any team of good runners, so we entered the match knowing we had to play as best as we could. Just as I did in my previous video, I'll be focusing a little less than normal on my own run and just go over the match as a whole. Spoilers, we all did worse than the previous match. Actually, I did better than the last match, but I didn't exactly set a high bar for myself. Anyway, the order of this match was 1.16, then 1.7, and then 1.14 last. Multiporl, our 1.16 runner, and Cube, the opponent's runner, started off on what appeared to be one of the best seeds in the tournament. The Desert Temple provided some iron and diamonds, meaning killing the golem was not necessary. Upon nether entry, both the bastion and the fortress were clearly visible in one view. However, the first signs of slowing down were the awful blaze rates, taking Multi 2 and some minutes to finish up killing blazes. On the flip side, Cube, who had gone to the bastion first, was faced with a huge problem: 10 pearls after the first round of bastion gold. Because of this special tournament data pack that both runners were using, both runners had to deal with both bad blaze rates and bad pearl rates. The 2 runners dealt with it in different ways actually. Cube decided to spend more time with the bastion to solidify a comfortable amount of pearls, while Multiporl decided to go to the stronghold first to check if the portal had 2 or more eyes pre-generated. And by a stroke of luck, he found a pack of 3 endermen on the surface. However, Cube's better educated travel let him pull ahead, revealing the portal's 3-eye, meaning that both runners will be able to enter. Both runners finished, but going in 1.7, the opponent team had a small lead. In 1.7, Max faced off against Thunderful. With the small lead, Thunderful was able to get into the nether and experience, yep, you guessed it, awful blaze rates. As the 10-minute mark loomed ahead, Thunder decided to leave the spawner with less rods than he needed, and planned to return after the night. Max did the same, however he risked a little more time killing blazes, only to be turned down and forced to leave anyway, also with less rods than he needed. Fortunately, the Enderman luck made up for this horrible nether. Thunder was able to leave his tower in under 18 minutes, while Max left at low 17. Throughout the run, the 2 runners remained pretty close, even down to the end fight, where it was just a matter of sheer charge luck. Thunder finished first, but with a slower runtime, meaning Max had cut down some of the lead that the opponent team had. And then 1.14. Okay, here's a quiz. Are these 2 photos taken 10 seconds after each other, or 10 minutes after each other? Here's a hint.
And like you said, it's like the least chokeable version. So I'd expect this to come down to like an end fight race almost.
It comes down to, I mean, obviously, if no one chokes. The
seed overall was pretty decent. The major problem was an easily locatable source of flint, because of the lack of rivers around. In fact, I wasted around 2 minutes just looking for flint, before deciding to just woodlight the portal anyway and get flint from the nether breaches. And now the funny part. Antoine, the opponent's 1.14 runner, fell off the fortress trying to make a parkour jump, kill a blaze, and avoid a wither skeleton all at the same time. A couple of minutes later, I suffered the same fate, except I got jabaited by the dumbest nether generation known to man. Also, I could have bow clutched here, but that's like the only clutch I don't understand the timing to. So that's how both me and Antoine found ourselves at the exact same position only 10 minutes later. However, on the second iteration, I blew past the lead that Antoine was given and continued it even further because I used a closer spawner in the nether and my trading was faster. I triangulated the stronghold quite quickly thanks to the desert terrain and the small travel distance. I set a safety bed on the surface in case of death, and I proceeded to kill the dragon with only 16 arrows and 5 beds. All in all, it was a very neck and neck match throughout, even with both of us dying in the same way at nearly the same time. The opposing team was always a little ahead until the very last couple minutes of the match where I was able to pull ahead. While I did sort of mess up, similar to the previous round, it was not as major, and the run after was pretty decent. Improvements would mainly be the end fight and better decision making based around lack of gravel. Seriously, when there are no rivers around, it's tough and time wasting to find gravel. The end fight was longer than usual because of my low amount of arrows and the fact that I had neglected end fight practice beforehand. So the looming question is this: when will I start playing to my full capacity? The answer is hopefully next match. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but there's a reason I am top 10 on the leaderboards and I'm one of the best teams in the relay. There's some things that are uncontrollable, like RNG or luck based on whether or not I find certain elements of the run in quick fashion, like flint or lava pool. But my pre-nether and training has been better than ever. In the previous 1.40 tournament, the fastest I ever left the village in any match was around 16 minutes. Right now, I've left the village in less than 15 minutes in both times I've played. All that is left to clean up is my play in the blaze fight and the endgame. I've already been practicing blaze fights on hard mode to instill a practice of caution, and also that when the real match comes up, it'll feel a lot easier. Are you interested in the Minecraft Relay Cup and how our team does in the tournament? Join my Discord, where you will get notified and also meet some new people. As of this video, we have not scheduled our next match, but there's a shot that it's in the description depending on how late you watch this. Feel free to subscribe and give a like to this video. See ya.